Bit of a different video today, not training. So she's just got her harness and her flexi lead on, which is a little setup we have if we're just having a little non-training mooch around really, and I can just kind of switch off a little bit. I think she quite enjoys these walks, to be honest. Oh, that's my tissue, disgusting. Full of cold. Must have come out when I pulled my phone out. She's happily watching squirrels at the moment. But the reason we've done this today is come out to get the wild garlic. And this is my spot. It's a verge opposite a private house, so I don't think it's problematic. But yeah, this is where I come and get my wild garlic from. So it's going to be springtime pesto time. Best time of the year. Just a quick bit about foraging. When you are foraging, I apply a principle of a third, so don't take more than a third of what you find, which obviously, in this instance, I will not be taking anywhere near a third. You're not going to even notice because I'm just going to fill one poo bag. There's no poo in there, new poo bag, all clean. But if it's like mushrooms or something, yeah, you don't want to take more than that because you want it to be able to regenerate and be there for another time. I thought I'd also try and find one with a flower on. I think this might be one over here. Nope, that's actually not it. Maybe this way. Missy, come! In here. Oop. There. The flowers aren't out, so this is quite early for me to be picking the garlic. Normally it's like a little white flower, so maybe I'll even come back and get some more in a few weeks, but I find it really strong actually, so a little for me goes quite a long way, so we shall see. We're going to have a pizza night and use it on some pizzas, that's in the plan, and then I always make pesto because that keeps really well, like all year really. So I thought a little note on the wild garlic there and foraging generally. This bit's broken here. That's meant to be for attaching a light, but this is the main attachment we use. It does also have at the front. Missy, sit. Hey. Good, sit. It also has at the front. Hey. Sit. Good. This bit here, which actually is getting a bit more worn now. This is really useful. This front clip. Okay, break. The front clip I use for tethering. So if we're away in our camper van, I can put like a stake in the ground and put like a metal, plastic coated like metal tether line, and then I clip that to that, and then she can wander around the environs of the van, and we know she's not getting up to mischief, but she can sort of sit in sunshine or whatever. That gives us a bit more space inside. She also is tethered to it in the car, well, in the camper van, not in our everyday car. In our everyday car she's loose in the boot, but the boot has a guard. And then the other thing I use it for, and I still use this regularly, is I'll put a long line on her, but this is going to make no sense, a short long line, so maybe 3 meters or so, and then I'll use that as a trailing long line, and then if we're doing obedience it just gives me a break if I need to step on her, well, not step on her, step on the line, and I find that very useful too. So that's the front clip. And then because I find I have very little control really with a flexi lead, so if we were, say, I was walking down here and some horse riders were coming towards me, I would switch to the slip lead. So, excuse me, I just need to cough, terrible cold. So yes, I use probably a very unusual combination of harness, and then I flipped between that and the slip lead, which I currently have around my neck. Well, actually it's not just around my neck, it's around my neck and under my shoulder, just in case I accidentally pull it and that won't be very nice. I see the contradiction in that. If you pull a slip lead around the dog's neck, it's not very nice. But as I've shown before, we don't tend to use the slip lead in that way. But it does give me a little bit more control, just so I can ensure she's not going to lunge out. Not that I think she would, but it just gives me peace of mind that she's going to be staying where she's put in that sort of situation. And I would also switch to this slip lead when we are getting back to the house and I need to walk her on the road. So while I've said there's no training today, I've just realised, because we do walk on the slip lead for the beginning and the end part, she will heel for that, and that's training. Obviously, you're always training, but just generally, the flexi lead is something I'll use, to be quite honest, when we just don't want to be whinging at each other. We just need a little break, or a day like today when I want to get from A to B, because mostly when we're out together, we're not trying to get from A to B. We're just enjoying each other's company and having fun, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, here we go, she's pulling now. Let's see if she can ease her up a bit. Hey, good job. Yeah, so that's how I like to use a slip lead, a flexi lead with my slip lead. And I do know other trainers use a flexi lead quite a lot for training, obedience training, and it can be good for training recall, I think, when they're little. Quite useful. And I have seen it used for people introducing an e-collar as well, just the recall, using an e-collar. So yeah, I think there's lots. I think they have their place. I don't think they have their place in a busy town centre. Certainly not the little ones with a string, but also these, to be honest. Any kind of retractable lead isn't good in a town centre. She's chasing birds now. So yeah, you do need to, you can't completely switch off, obviously. You need to be aware of what's going on, because if she goes for a squirrel, you know, shoulder might pop out. So we try and just be aware of what's going on. She's getting a bit drivey here. Come on. Good girl. Just want to add a note about the legality of this setup with the slip lead and the retractable. Missy, come. She currently is not wearing any tag. I normally do have a tag on here, but I did actually have to lend it to her brother when we were on holiday because he lost a tag. So we thought a tag with my number on was better than no tag. So we have ordered a new tag. It's even if I have the tag on, so in the UK you have to have your name, not the dog's name, so like your family name, your address and your telephone number, and then that has to be actually on a flat collar, or some sort of collar around their neck. It doesn't actually count if it's on the harness. So UK viewers, make sure you have ideally a tag on the collar. If you want to shop me to the police for only putting a tag on the harness, which we do normally have, then that's fine. I think I'll just suck that up, that's not a problem. But yeah, they should have a tag on. I think that's important because you just never ever know, do you? You know what could happen. I might be in between changing the I don't know, changing the leads or something, and she sees a squirrel, as I say, or whatever happens. But yeah, they should have a tag on. That is a legal requirement in the UK. So just a little additional bit to this morning's footage. I've actually decided to do a little bit of gardening on our front garden today, because as you can probably tell, it needs a bit of a tidy. So this is what I was saying about this harness, how I use it for tethering, and why the front attachment is a little bit warm, because actually that's where we used to do this a lot when she was a puppy. I'd come out here and do some gardening and she just would be tethered. So I've given her a bone this evening. She's only just been given it, so I think she's trying to work out the best way to go about it. And yeah, I can get on with what I'm doing and know that she's safe.